planes crash. Tim, if it does get to 100% of that search area, is there a chance that they'll go back over any of it, that they miss something?
They're covering it really well, I would imagine. But what they said is the higher probability search area, 90% of the higher probability.
Right.
I would totally assume there's a much wider, maybe 4 times wider search area than they're actually saying. This is the highest probability. So the only thing to do is, well, you got choices. Continue doing this, quit, or find another place to look. And right now, there are 2 options. Quitting is not an option, and finding another place is not an option yet. So I would continue the search.
What about the Orion and these other possible assets that get dragged behind a ship?
Yes, but first I will say that they could not cover 100% because remember that at the beginning they say the bluefin cannot go more than 4,500 meters down, and there was a place in this area where it was deeper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have already some hole in their search. I mean, they cannot cover 100% with the bluefin. And the Orion is a very good tool, but it's depending how is the bottom. You know, I hope that the hydrographic British ship already finished the map, because without a map, you don't know which one is the best equipment between the AUV or the deep towing sonar. You know, because if it's very bumpy on the bottom, you cannot use a towing sonar. You will have a lot of gap everywhere, and that AUV is better. But if it's pretty flat or with the towing sonar is very good. You know, they should have a map first. On the Air France Fly, for example, we start with a map. Mm-hmm. We need a map, and when we have the map, we say, okay, here we can use, because we have the Orion on board. We have the Orion, the Curve, we have another ROV, we have 3 Remus, we have all this equipment, because we just, when we get the map, we say, okay, with all this equipment, we know which one we have to use.
Should they be releasing at least some of the pictures of what they're seeing down there
well,
now?
That would be nice for the families to see. You know, sonar pictures of the bottom of nothing is nothing. You know, geology maybe.
It's like a football.
Right. And your question earlier, and I know you've gone over this, if they're scanning with sonar, unless there's an anomaly in the way that creates a shadow or something that they can't see behind, they will have data. Granted, it may be a little bit deeper, but they've programmed it to go a little bit deeper. And the other towing assets, if they do bring those in there, they'll be effective, but they still will take just as much time, if not longer, than the AUVs. So they're not going to rush things along. They may help by adding 2 assets at the same time, but you can't tow and launch the AUV at the same time. So you need another vehicle.
You could be in different area.
Yeah.
You can be a few miles, like 10 or 15 miles
But 2
away.
vessels. You'll have to.
Yeah, we need 2 vessels.
Right. Let me ask our former FAA safety inspector, David Susi. Malaysian Airlines now says they put together the preliminary report. I can't imagine how many pages that is, but we have no idea because they're not making it public. Should they?
Yeah, they should actually. The question is, what's in that report? Would it answer the questions that the families are asking? And the answer to that is actually no. The only thing that would be in that report typically is just a description of the damage to the aircraft. There is no aircraft, so there wouldn't be that in there. Then it also includes a situation, a process of where the aircraft went from, where it went to, and who did what. We don't have that either, so that wouldn't be in there. The thing that I think that is important that would be in there is the communication and who did the communication between the 2 air traffic control areas. So when it was handed off, communications before and after, and who made those communications, and then subsequently what the air traffic control centers did to help try to find that aircraft. That's really important information, and there's no reason that that should be held from the public at all, in my opinion.
Let me ask all 3 of you, if you had to lay odds as to what will be found first, something underwater or something on the surface, what do you think is more likely at this point?
More likely, well, that's a good question, but more likely underwater. If they're in the right place. If they're in the right place.
Yeah, but I think my feeling, I think they should find debris first. Without debris, we don't know where is the aircraft. It could be 1,000 miles north. We don't know.
And David, what do you think? You think they'll find something down deep?
Well, I think they will, as long as those pings really were from that black box.
Right.
If they find that they were not from the black box, then we're talking surface debris by far.
It's really, it's worth repeating that Air France flight that went down off the coast of Brazil, they had found debris within a few days. By 3 weeks in, they had found 640 pieces of floating wreckage and 50 bodies, and it still took 2 years to find the black
Yeah,
box.
but
That's not
it
fair.
was
Yeah,
2
right.
years, but
was-
not consecutive 2 years, because we stopped some time, because that will happen with the Malaysian. Days they will say, who is paying the bill?
Yeah.
And I mean, for example, when I was in
But
charge
if you took the downtime down, how much was it in
4 or
real
5
time?
months.
4 or 5
Right,
months.
right.
Yeah, we did, with the AUV, using the AUV, we did 66 days consecutive, and we have to stop because it was the hand of the money, and after 6 months later we start again, and 8-10 days after we found a wreck, because we were
You were so close and had to
yeah, it was so
power
close,
down.
but we were short of money because during the first 66 days we were diverted because somebody say, oh, maybe there is a place where
Yeah.
a submersible here, something, blah blah blah, and we lose 2 weeks.
And then
If not,
they
we
had to
will
run
find it.
ROV operations, which was salvage and find the boxes, and so that takes time
Okay.
too. Finding it and then performing the ROV work afterwards is time consuming.
But the debris for me is really essential.
It is essential to keep looking for debris.
Yeah, because
Okay.
if
Without
not,
it?
it could be 3,000 miles north. We don't know.
Okay. PH, Tim, David, appreciate all you guys.